All right, everyone. Hello. My name is Tyler Wilkie. I'm actually the baby of the group. I'm going to be a junior, a marketing major in the Broad College of Business. And this summer, I was working with Maria Gigi in the Alumni Association on this alumni segmentation survey. So I guess just to start off, my part of the pyramid was just kind of at the bottom with all our 500,000 living Spartan alumni and kind of what the Alumni Association does to better engage with them. And then so just to go over a quick overview of my project, kind of in the four halves of before in the summer, I wrote this proposal, then I designed the survey, actually delivered the survey, and then I've spent the last about 2 weeks analyzing the survey. So basically the whole purpose of this project is basically, again, there's that office over there deals with 500,000 people. So it's all about what is going to be the biggest return on investment, how can you best spend your resources. And I guess what's different with the Alumni Association versus other units on campus is the work that we do doesn't directly contribute to dollars right away, so it's a little bit harder to see the impact of our work. So really the goal of this project was to see, okay, how can we quantify that impact the best way? So one, we know where to spend our resources, and two, one where we can show the impact of what we do and say that everything we do connecting our 500,000 alumni is worthwhile, because it definitely is. So the first thing I did this summer was I wrote a 20-page research proposal. Well, I didn't write all 20 pages, but there's everything inside of the proposal. It outlines kind of everything going from the beginning of this project through the execution and then the end, and then in the back is just kind of some appendices that have the survey and then just a more detailed breakdown of what we're going to do. Basically, the project that we're going to do is I wrote the survey for the beginning part. We are going to survey, and which we did for initial beliefs and behaviors. Then we're actually going to spend the entire part of the year trying to target our key segment demographics. And so kind of the goal of this survey, going back to quantifying our reach, is that obviously with the group we have, we cannot micro-market to all 500,000 alumni. So what we're trying to figure out is, okay, if we pick target groups and we spend a little bit more attention on them, we'll probably get an overall bigger return on investment in terms of our impact than if we try to spread over evenly with everyone else. And so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on those 4 key segments. We're going to do the pre-survey for beliefs. They're going to spend the entire year kind of doing things a little bit differently with alumni engagement, enrichment events. And then at the end of next year, they're going to resurvey and see how much we moved the needle in terms of the beliefs and behaviors that are desired. So our segments, there's 3, and then our young alumni segment is actually split up into sub-segments, but we have alumni 50 to 65 Spartan women, then we have our young alumni in New York, San Francisco, Chicago, and Detroit, as well as our grandparents university participants. This is really small, but this kind of breaks down the values in each of our experimental and control groups for the process. These are everyone that's in the groups. We send every one of these people an email for the survey, and then they'll also get an email again at the end, and then that's depending on what we're going to do. Like for a control group, so we're not going to touch them to see if we did nothing to people versus the people that we focus on for the year, what that does in terms of the survey results. So survey design, I spent actually the first part of the summer, I read 2 books on how to write good questions, and as a marketing major, that's one of the things that I was really interested in, is a lot of times if you just write a survey for questions, just because you want to write questions, it's not going to get you anywhere, because if your information that you're making business decisions on are from a bad survey, you're going to make a bad decision. So that I really tried to focus on making sure before I even did anything else that I wanted to have good questions. And the nice part is a lot of that work was done for me. So with the beliefs and behaviors that are going to be targeted from this, actually there was another survey or another project we got from Martz and Lundy, which kind of gave us metrics on what are the signs of good and effective alumni engagement. And then I basically took that through line by line in that process, and then I made all of my surveys for that. And this is an example. So one of the slides in the Martin Lundy report said, Spartans helping Spartans. That means that from the Alumni Association, all Spartans should feel that they benefit from a strong professional and personal network. And the 2 questions that I have on the survey is on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, rate the strength of the MSU Alumni Network as a selling point to university. Just because if they think it's a selling point, if they're talking to a prospective student about one of the reasons that you need to come to MSU is because the strong alumni network of 500,000 people around the world that are going to have your back when you're out in the workforce, something that we want to target, and we want to see how good we are at making sure that message gets out there. And then another one, just to kind of see people's personal response to that is, do you benefit personally from being part of the Spartan Alumni Network? Agree to strongly disagree. And then so with the actual implementation of the survey, so I got to send an email with Scott Westerman's signature to 3,900 people. By the time it closed, we had 483 people, which is a 12% return rate. I'm ambitious, so I didn't think that was high, but when I actually talked to some people, 12% on a survey was very good. So we're very happy for that. I used Qualtrics to write and administer the survey, and then we did incentivize by people who won the survey, got a chance to win one of 10 $100 Visa gift cards. I chose those random people using a random number generator in Excel, so it was completely unbiased, and we're going to be sending them emails.
Thank you for the gift card.
Yeah, that's true. Jeez. And then I just threw this on there so you guys can see what the survey looked like on a desktop as well as a mobile device when someone went and took it. And then this goes over the last 2 weeks, the meat and potatoes of the project, which is the analysis of the survey. So the reason that we actually sent the emails with Qualtrics instead of some like iModules is it sends everyone a unique link. So whoever clicked on that link, we knew which email address that link went to. So we can actually track personally every single person. And then we had pulled some data from ART and our advanced, and we can connect things like giving information to their survey answers. And because I've only had 2 weeks with this data, we aren't fully hashed out with it, but we can connect things like, okay, if you answered this question this way, were you more likely to give more or less money? And then also we can tie in things like affinity scores. And then again, at the end of next year, we can track almost individually how their personal beliefs and behaviors changed. And then I'm going to actually show you guys just a really quick rundown of the program I was working in. And that happened. So we'll see if we can get it up if I reload it. So this is Microsoft Power BI. It has a desktop program that works extremely quick and fast, and then we're running it off the cloud right now, so it might be a little bit. So the question I pulled up, you can't read it right here, but it is on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, rate the strength of the alumni network as a selling point for MSU. And as you can see, each one of these is like a question and answer on the survey. And then just something else that I went and did is at the bottom there's the slicer. So if we're going to make decisions throughout the year of who we want to market to and what decisions when the committee goes to figure out, okay, how we're going to engage with kind of micro-marketing throughout the year, you can actually click on these buttons and it'll show you by segment. So these are the GPU attendees answers, these are the young alumni answers, and then these are the alumni 50-65 answers. And then in addition to the Martz and Wendy results, we actually put on a question talking about people's interests, and that actually can get broken down by segment as well as sub-segment for young alumni. So if we want to put on an event or send a live stream directly to Chicago, by clicking on that button, you can see the interests that the people from Chicago indicated that they were into. I actually brought my iPad, so if after the presentation anyone wants to look at the this more, I'll be happy to share it with you, but I thought I would just show you guys a quick example of the kind of cool things that the tool of Power BI can do for us right now. And that's all I have right now, and I can open the floor to some questions.
We're glad you went last.
Yeah.
So I know that from talking with you, Tyler, as you've been working in this project, a lot of the survey results didn't really surprise you. What's one thing that you found interesting or surprising from the research that you did?
I guess from like the super fan I am of Michigan State, it was really cool just to see that most of the questions are almost exactly where they'd want them to be. Like when you look at Spartans believing that we can make the world a better place, Spartans who believe that it's important to volunteer in your community, they're pretty high in all of our responses, and our goal, I guess, is to continue making that higher. I guess one of the surprises or different things that I know that we can focus on is actually that question I showed you with do you believe that the alumni network is a selling point of MSU? If you actually look at the net promoter score of that, it's actually lower than you'd want it to be. So that just tells us, as a student that's worked in the Alumni Association this year, that's what I've learned firsthand is how killer it is that we have, like, for example, I probably want to try to be in California for my internship next summer because I want to just, have an exciting experience in another state. So I know that I can contact our alum in California, and just because I went to Michigan State and they went to Michigan State, they're going to help me out, and that is how it plays through. And that survey question lets us know that not everyone knows how cool that is, that we have an arm of 500,000 people. Luanna K. Simon says the sun never sets on Spartan Nation. So I would say that that question is one thing that really stood out, is we can do a better job at making sure that students and alumni know that you're part of Michigan State for your life, and there's this alumni network that you can tap from constantly to pick you up when you're down. And we can do better at that, so they know it.
Is there correlation, did you see any correlations between some of the things you mentioned? You said you were tapping into the advanced record and some of those responses. Did you see correlations to certain affinities with some of the answers?
I would say that especially when it comes to giving, I didn't get a lot of the giving information until last week. And to be able to make a statement with just stuff, like for example, there was one question that with the Spartan Women Control just happened. We had a major donor in the Spartan Women Control, and that was an outlier. So there's all of these things that look like they're a correlation that I can't know, so I didn't do any statistical analyses to be able to definitively say there's a correlation between that. The good news is I'm not completely going away because I'll be at the Alumni Association this year, so if I have more time to really dig deep, but I cannot say with like certainty right now. Like the only thing that I can say is we have a base set of attitudes and then that we can test against for when we redo this at the end. And then like another thing is like when you're looking for correlations though, like if you click on questions in here, so this is, or I'll go to this page. So if you say the continued success of Michigan State University is important to me, if I click on that as the people who said strongly agree, that's going to load and then it pops up and it shows me these bars are the distribution of the people who answered strongly agree on this question. So you can't read it. So this one is alumni philanthropic giving is important to MSU's future. So as you can see that the people who put strongly agree kind of are more skewed to say strongly agree that philanthropic giving is important to MSU's future. So that is another cool tool about Power BI is once it's built, I can give this to a lot of different people who just with its user interface can kind of click and discover patterns on their own. Any other questions? All right, well, thanks for all the oh, sorry.